We are continuing our short series on dealing with work-from-home issues. This is Savvy Layman. Whether we like it or not, people often fall for the first impression. When we meet someone in person, our brain needs to process plethora of visual, auditory, or even olfactory perceptions, and these can be quite overwhelming. Your brain has to analyze and memorize specific attributes of the person in question, so you would recognize them next time, but it also needs to assess whether the person is a friend or foe. For that reason, the brain comes up with so-called mental models, which represent a simplified version of reality that reduce mental effort when dealing with similar perceptions in the future. When meeting someone remotely, the perception of yourself by the person on the other side of the line is very limited. This makes the first impression all the more important. Since we are aware of this phenomenon, we want to use it to our advantage. I will share a few simple life hacks with you, which can positively impact the impression you make when meeting someone on the phone. The first 4 tricks require no gadgets whatsoever. Joining conference call on time is the first step to success. It's always better to join 2 minutes early. Don't overdo it though. Second, if you are the organizer of the call, send the agenda up front. No one likes surprises of this kind anyway. And make sure the meeting ends on time. Third, even if the call has no video stream enabled, smile. People can hear it. Fourth, don't get distracted by other activities, especially your smartphone while in a call. Again, people can hear it. Fifth, find a quiet place when making calls. If this is not possible, technology can help. Dynamic microphones don't pick up as much ambient noise or office chatter as condenser microphones do. Therefore, avoid AirPods for calls, but use a dedicated headset instead. I can recommend any Jabra headset for that matter. Then use software to reduce ambient noise. For example, Microsoft Teams has a built-in functionality for noise reduction. This is usually sufficient when combined with a proper headset. There is, however, a superior, albeit somewhat niche, noise reduction approach available, provided your computer comes with an NVIDIA RTX graphics processor. In such case, you can grab a free software solution called NVIDIA Broadcast. More on that later. Then, always go on mute when not speaking. This good habit can prevent embarrassment. Though I enjoy my home office setup very much, an interaction with the outside world is required more often than not in my case. I got used to being on the phone for many hours per day, but it was simply not cutting it. Therefore, I decided to go for video calls whenever I find them appropriate. Seeing each other's faces, break ice and build rapport. This is where it gets a bit tricky. Turning a webcam on makes us vulnerable to some extent, as people might see how messy our room or our hair is. I can't help with the hair, but the less than ideal background, that is the messy room, can be concealed by blur or replacement. Popular collaboration apps such as Microsoft Teams or Zoom have these video effects built in. However, NVIDIA Broadcast utility can do a bit more. NVIDIA Broadcast uses dedicated tensor cores of your RTX GPU to enhance audio as well as video of your stream. It can reduce audio noise such as typing, air conditioner hum, or room echo. In the same fashion, it can reduce video noise or add other effects such as the aforementioned background blur or replacement, vignette, or auto frame. It can even mimic you always maintain eye contact, which I personally find a bit creepy. See how I'm moving my eyes here and there? The software apparently struggles with glasses a bit. Anyways, there is one disadvantage of using NVIDIA Broadcast effects. They're quite expensive computation-wise, which means they will drain your laptop battery faster. Other than that, I think they look much better than standard Teams effects. Speaking of video streaming, you may have noticed the video quality of conference calls usually varies from poor to horrendous. Please excuse my French, but 720p integrated webcams in laptops are trash. Therefore, I decided to invest in a quality webcam and chose Razer Kiyo Pro. Yes, I had to overcome some headaches such as installation issues, focus hunting or Razer bloatware, but I'm very happy with the result in the end. Of course, there are better webcams out there, but I didn't want to spend over 120 euros. I highly recommend a camera with a large sensor, which works well in low light conditions, because that is what one usually encounters in the office environment. Razer Kiyo Pro comes with a premium Sony Stravis image sensor. If you want to look fancy, you may even consider adding a key light. Quality lighting does make a ton of difference. Alright. I know I've gone a bit overboard with my setup. Let's pause here and I'll meet you in the final episode on comfort and focus. I'll talk to you then.